did the CIA invent Bitcoin to steal all our money?
So I love this question. So when I was, young and impressionable and didn't really know about this stuff, I Googled Satoshi Nakamoto like everybody else. And if you type Satoshi Nakamoto into Google, one of the things that comes up is Intelligence Central, because Satoshi means intelligence, and Nakamoto is the surname of families from the central provinces of Japan. Like, that is way, way too close to CIA. So what if it was created by the CIA or NSA to have the failing currency, the dollar, convert into this better thing, and then they just steal it all through a back door? Now, we're super lucky at Morgan Creek Digital. One of our venture partners is Scott Stornetta. Scott and his partner Stuart coined the term blockchain in 1991. They wrote a bunch of papers. They are experts in cryptography and AI. And in the white paper, there are 8 footnotes. There are 3 of them. So pretty smart guy. And it's funny. People always say, if you're in the white paper, you must know who Satoshi is. And so he starts speaking perfect Japanese. He's actually married to a Japanese woman. And he says basically, well, I might know who Satoshi is. But if I did, do you think I'd really tell you? And since you don't understand Japanese, then I don't have to tell you. So I asked Scott this question. I said, Scott had this theory, and what do you think? He says, well, I should never thought of that. No. I was like, how did you do that so fast? He says, well, it's an interesting thought. It's certainly possible that it could have been. I mean, if you go back in time, there was a paper in 2007 by, I always get this guy's name wrong, but it's like Natoshi Sakamoto or something like that, that was sponsored by the NSA. And it was about a peer-to-peer payment system. Literally, it's a real paper. And the guy was the head of cryptography at NTT. So it's a little weird. They said, okay. But the way you're thinking about a backdoor is impossible with Bitcoin because of the air gap. But then as fast as he said that, he said, but with Ethereum, it could happen. I was like, whoa. So that's the topic for another day. So I'm torn. I mean, the genius of the code says to me it couldn't have been one person. I mean, it's so genius. So many things about it are just so elegant and so perfect. I find it hard to believe that one person could, although I do believe, right, the old adage that an investment committee should be an odd number and 3 is too many. Individuals do make things of perfection, right? I mean, committees make bad things. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is one person and that's why it's so beautiful. So, but you have to be a really, really smart person. Do I really think it's a government agency? I don't, but, and Scott telling me that it would be impossible to have a backdoor makes me a little more confident. But at the end of the day, it exists and it survived. And that's a miracle. Because even if it were created by the CIA, the likelihood of this thing getting released, embraced, and succeeding, infinitely distant. I mean, not very different from zero. I would say the miracle was 0.003 cents to $1. That's the miracle. $1, $10, $10 to $100, 1,000 to 20,000. That's not the miracle. The miracle was that it survived from a science project, a white paper, to something. And we're coming up on Bitcoin Pizza Day next week, and it was, the guy's such an idiot. He could have 2 G5s. I'm like, yeah, but he proved that this thing could work. And we all owe him a debt of gratitude. And no, we don't use it to buy pizzas today yet, but in the future we probably will. And the fact that it is perfect money is amazing. And would it take someone or someones with the intellectual horsepower and resources of a national agency to do it? Yeah. Think about most inventions. Do they come from government? Right? The internet came from DARPA. We're working with a company now that has this amazing technology to basically ensure that your data is encrypted all the time, and they were funded by DARPA. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, but now it doesn't matter.
Right.
I don't think, because it's now grown to this, $1.3 trillion asset that's owned by 200 million people around the world and has become its own thing. So the progenitor, particularly because it's pseudonymous, doesn't really matter except for the million coins. The one little problem I have is I feel better thinking that Satoshi was 4 people, Hal Finney and 3 others, and Hal tragically passed, and that the reason those coins will never move is it was a multi-sig and now Hal's gone. That makes me feel good because I know that million coins will always stay there. If those coins were to move, and that it was the NSA or CIA or CCP or somebody, that would make me nervous, because if you were to dump 1 million coins, you could wreak havoc on the price, and that would create a downward confidence cycle. But why would you do that, right? Why would you build something up to break it down unless... This is my problem. If you go back to the dictator playbook, what dictators like to do is they like to impoverish the masses and then stay in power by giving them free stuff to buy their votes. So they basically come into power, pass rules that funnel all the wealth to the top. Look at Uncle Bob in Zimbabwe, or the Peronists in Argentina, or Maduro in Venezuela. And you basically impoverish everybody, and then you give away free electricity or free gasoline and buy votes. Because I always said, how do those people stay in power, right? Everybody's worse off, right? I have a 100 million Zimbabwe dollar bill on my desk, and it wouldn't buy a loaf of bread. If that was done to you, how would you vote for him? Well, but he gave me free money to buy groceries. I'm like, well, but he has all the wealth. But it works. So if your goal, and you can go back to the Bolsheviks and you can go back to the Nazis, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people who follow this playbook. If you impoverish people and then give them free stuff, you can stay in power. And sadly, there are a lot of policies in the United States that kind of look like that. And so I do worry a little bit about that. It doesn't keep me up at night, but anyway.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back, to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.